Hello and welcome back to another episode of Archival Finds. My mic stand isn't working the way I want it to today, so I have to talk into it like this. Yeah, this week I pulled kind of a random one here from the Newhall Farm and Land Co. And they are the company that actually owns a bulk of the land in the Santa Clarita Valley, which is where I grew up. Shout out SCV, shout out 661. Shout out Santa Clarita. Odie, come here. Stop. I'm watching my sister's dog. Sorry. Odie. Okay, so like I was saying, this is a photo of the Santa Clarita Valley before it was developed. So yeah, this is just three women that are standing by a tree and they're having a great old time. You know, I imagine you could actually kind of put this alongside the other image I analyzed of the four guys in the hot tub. And this is funny because that was like guys' time in the hot tub. This is girls' time by the picnic tree. And so what's great here is that I think there's a sense of pensiveness in most of their faces. They seem quite reticent to take this photo. And it's funny to me that they are just sort of shielded from the sun. They don't seem too enthusiastic about this photo. They're kind of just standing there. Yeah, again, I think the attitude of the women flanking their attitude is interesting. It's a bit more reserved, a bit more demure. And this woman, you know, again, I think she was in like a different photograph almost. Like, you know, she could be like, that's kind of like a horror film look right there. I feel like this is the kind of photo that would be on like the dresser and someone look at it and go, gun, into it. Yeah. So I'm sorry, this mic being like this really kind of threw me this week. So the focal point here is that when I found this in the Newhall like archives for the SCV history, it was sort of the metadata tag was about the tree, was about this tree here, because apparently the way that oak is formed is very unique. So the real kind of focal point of this whole thing is actually the tree. But I just found the composition again to be quite interesting. I would date this probably in the 19 teens, you know, if not 1920 or earlier. I'm not going to reverse Google image search this anymore because that feels just sort of cheap. I think one of the new constraints and the new parameters for the show should be that I just have to kind of talk about it in isolation, almost in a vacuum without the internet. I think that is an interesting challenge. And then go ahead and watch me break that like next episode. But yeah, for now, we're going to put it out there as a challenge. Yeah. So yeah, this is three women by a oak tree, a Newhall Farm and Land Co. This is somewhere in the Santa Clarita Valley, 19 teens. And again, I just am a real big fan of what we got going on here.